I was born to a single mother. We were low income my whole life. And I have two older brothers. So I was my mom's last final baby, the biggest baby she ever had. And at the time, she thought the only daughter. Obviously, that was right, because look at me now. So there, I was right out of the womb, just born, newborn. This is me around preschool. I'm from Fillmore, California, about 20 minutes east. This is me. I was 4 years old, Grandma. Sunshine Preschool, obviously, you could see that I was very upfront and honest, and I was already consistent, persistent with my gender. My mom, who's coming a little later, I would frequently ask for short hair, and I loved Michael Jordan at the time. I loved basketball, so I would go to preschool and kindergarten in my Chicago Bulls jersey, had really short hair, and I remember telling my mom, I want my hair as short as Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's bald. So she was like, what's going on with him? What's with her at the time? My mom didn't really care. She was a tomboy herself, so she's like, oh, who cares, if my kid wants to be a little bit more masculine than normal. She didn't really care. So she really advocated for me at this time. Growing up, right before school started, I pretty much looked like this 24/7. And then preschool started, kindergarten started, and that's when my family, I don't mean to call you out, my grandma though, was like, okay, you need to get rid of those boys' clothes. We're gonna buy you new clothes and you're gonna grow out your hair. So I started kindergarten as a girl. I didn't really like it, but I knew at such a young age that I had to kind of hide it because I was starting to get words called even as soon as kindergarten from other kids. They would tell me, why are you dressing like that? Why are you dressing like a boy? I'd come in my whole Lakers little NBA outfit, and they'd be like, why are you wearing that? You're a girl. So I was already getting slack 4 or 5 years old, and that's when I learned that, I can't act on this. I gotta keep it hidden. And I learned that at a very young age, and it didn't follow me until the day I came out, which was 10 years later. So there's my family. Like I said, I'm the youngest of 3 boys. My oldest brother, Jesus, middle brother, Samuel, and me. This was in 2003, 2004. Had my hair short. My mom would always put me in these boy cargo Levi's shorts, so I would love that. We were at the zoo, Santa Barbara. I don't know who took that picture of us, but I remember that day. And this is us this year. There's a huge change, obviously. I'm still the shortest one, though. But my brother Jesus, brother Samuel, and me, 3 boys. This was this year in May. My brother graduated from CSU Channel Islands. So there's a good picture of all of us. There's never pictures of the 3 of us together, but this is the most recent one that I could show you and just see how alike we look and stuff like that. All right, so
great picture.
Thank you. So social transition. I came out April 2015. I came out to my grandma first. As far as family concerned, I already came out to a lot of my high school friends before. So my support group with my friends made me feel encouraged to come out to my family. So my grandma was the first one that I told. We're having dinner one day in public, and I had this really big need to tell her, and I was really anxious. And I just said, Grandma, do you remember when I used to be little and how I was always kind of very more masculine and stuff? And she goes, yeah, I remember that. And I said, well, I don't think I've ever grown out of that. And she said, okay. And we talked about that, and I told her, this is something that I want to do, and I don't really know how, and I don't know how to help myself, so I need some further support, outside support from other people to start this, because I knew back then that I did not want my graduation diploma to say that name. I wanted to say it Isaac, so I had to do it as soon as possible. I was a sophomore in high school, so what I did, first thing I did was cut my hair. My hair was probably down to right here. Cut my hair, and my grandma took me, and that made the whole, that changed everything. That was the first thing that was the biggest part of it. Began presenting as male full-time at school, at home, with friends, with family, and I changed my entire wardrobe. My mom took me to go get my first pair of clothes, so that was really cool. That was really exciting for me. That's something that I really needed That's otherwise known as social transition. I came out to everyone. I was living as Isaac. Wasn't doing anything yet. Wasn't doing anything medical. Wasn't doing anything legal yet. Was just pretty much putting down the framework that, okay, this is me, this is who I am, this is Isaac, and I'm going to be living like this. And then legal transition. So the same year, 2015, I went to the courthouse here in Ventura County, and I legally changed my name to Izaac Limón. And then I began my junior year as Isaac, so all my paperwork, all my medical paperwork, VC paperwork, all of it says Isaac. My social security card says Isaac, so I got all that done. It was a really long process. Yeah.
Did you pick the name Isaac, or?
Yeah, so I have a funny story about that. So my birth name started with an I too, and I really like names that start with I. So I had to tone it down because otherwise I was gonna like name myself like something Greek and weird. So I made myself pick between Isaac, Isaiah, or Ivan. I had those three choices, and I was like, Isaiah, I don't know, Ivan, I don't know, and Isaac. I was like, okay, I can work with that. And then I went to my mom and I was like, so if I was born male, you would have named me. So I want you to have some sort of input in this because you're my mom. And so I said, okay, I picked the name, you pick the spelling, and then we'll go to court and we'll change it. So she was writing it down, different ways to spell Isaac, you know, I-Z-A-A-K, I-C-C, I-S-S-A-C, you know, double A, one C, a K in there. And then she came up and she's like, what about this? And it's I-Z-A-A-C. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I had her input on it, and she loves it. She loves it. She said like, I'm too unique just to have a normal common name. So she's like, I need to add that little Z in there. So whenever people give me something about it, like, why is it named like that? I'm like, that's my mom's fault. You can go talk to her. She's coming here. You can talk to her. Why she picked that? That's on her. That was not me.
Did you ever think of like maybe like naming yourself something like crazy?
I was thinking of Apollo. Oh God. Or Adonis. I don't know. I was like, I want to be Greek. But no, I was like, I gotta keep it simple, and I gotta keep that I initial. So that's what I did. It's probably like the most generic common name, but I mean it's mine. So yeah. And then medical. So I didn't start my medical transition until about a year after, until I came out. And that was first testosterone. I started testosterone March of 2016 at the Santa Paula Clinic. Oh wait, I'm lying. I didn't start at the Santa Paula Clinic. At the time in Ventura County, they couldn't see minors, trans minors. They couldn't give testosterone or any hormones to minors. So they had to refer me all the way to LA, and I had to go to Children's Hospital of LA at the trans youth, and I had to go there for a year. And my grandma and I wasn't driving back then, we would have to commute every 3 months to go and see a doctor because they could not see me here. So that sucked. And then a year later, my doctor was like, okay, we can finally see you. So like, thank God that cut my commute down a lot. Just go drive 20 minutes and go see my doctor to take care of all my hormone stuff. And then that same year, I got my top surgery. We call it top surgery. The medical term is a bilateral double incision mastectomy. But we just call it top surgery because that's just a mouthful. And so I got that 2016. I started my senior year of high school 5 days later. Couldn't even raise my hand. I was so sore. I couldn't do anything for 2 months. The post-operative care was stay in bed, don't make any movements, don't even carry your backpack. So senior year was hell starting off like that. I was already stressed out with deadlines, applications, financial aid. I had to worry about that, and I couldn't even move. So that really sucked. But I was so glad that I got the surgery, and I got the surgery here in Thousand Oaks at Dr. Krieger, and that pretty much made everything just, I finally felt comfortable. Like I've never felt comfortable my whole life, and then like all of a sudden, like boom, I'm comfortable in my own body, and that was weird. I never felt that ever, and I'm like, so this is what it feels like to kind of be okay with everything. That was unheard of for me, at least. So that was a really big thing. My mom, my grandma helped me afterwards with the care and stuff. I couldn't even take care of myself. I was just like, out of it with all the anesthesia and stuff. It was my first ever surgery, and so that was really scary, being 16 at the time. But I just knew that it's something that had to be done and that I always wanted to do, and I had the chance to, so I took the opportunity to do it.
Isaac, can I ask you a question for you too? What would have happened if you couldn't do it?
I probably wouldn't be here right
But
now.
these people don't understand, I mean,
I probably wouldn't be
major
here.
surgery.
I wouldn't be here.
Right.
I was ready. There's a point in my surgery where it seemed like the insurance wasn't going to cover it, so I was trying to figure out ways to mutilate myself that would necessitate the surgery. So that was.
That's how.
Yeah, and it was obviously life-threatening because I'm an idiot with a knife, right? Like.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be here right now. It was just causing way too much distress, and I wanted just to go outside and go jogging with the shirt off. I couldn't do that. When I go to the beach, couldn't do that. So it made a lot of my possibilities limited, and it sucked. Like I just wanted to do regular things that a 16-year-old boy can do, and I couldn't. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I probably wouldn't have gone this far as education's concerned. Probably would have dropped out way back when. Probably be using drugs, not gonna lie, and I probably wouldn't be here right now, to be honest.
You know, the reason I'm asking you, Brian, and the suicide rate, I know that it's important that's
It's very
very high
high.
with trans people, it's pretty high. And what some people understand is that it's not even a choice, it's a necessity.
Yep, exactly. So I was grateful that I was able to get it at such a young age, still in puberty, still developing, still in high school, and I was able to get it. So I was thankful for that, for my family as well. So currently, I'm a full-time BC student. I'm a psych major. This is my last semester here.
Yay! I mean, not that, but something.
Yeah, Lucy, she converted me to psychology. I was a bio major beforehand.
Thank you.
It's my last semester here. I am going to Sonoma State next fall, and I'm leaving to Australia in February.
Oh my gosh,
I'll be
awesome.
studying
It's
abroad
so cool.
for 4 months. So
You're gonna love it.
Good for you, yeah.
thank you. I'm really
Such an
excited.
experience, yeah.
I'm nearly 3 years on testosterone. I forgot to mention I'm on the gel. I don't do injections. I do 100 milligrams of gel every night. I put it on my legs, and it's changed my whole appearance, my voice, everything about me. And I'm also 2 years post-surgery, and so that's currently where I'm at right now in my transition. I've been doing it since I was 15. I probably won't ever stop doing it my whole life, because once you start hormones, you're gonna always have to be on hormones if you still want those changes. So it's a lifetime process. There's no specific years of how long. It's pretty much your whole life. So this is just my first 3 years. If you have any questions or anything like that, like please let me know.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead.
I had no idea. I really had, it was like, yeah, can I do the presentation in trans? I'm going, why? So I didn't know, I mean, with you, I saw the transition.
Yes. Yes.
I've known you
Yeah.
long enough, I mean, I've known both of you guys, but with you, I saw the transition, so I knew. But with you, I was like, I had no clue, so.
Yeah, everyone, like, when I tell someone, they either think like I'm like a trans woman, like I was born guy and I'm trying to go to a woman. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I get that too.
I'm like, no, it's the other way around. I'm trans guy. Yeah. So, but I don't really tell anyone. I figured this is my last semester here at BC, and all I can do is spread the word before I leave for good. So I was thinking, like, I told Lucy, like, I think I'm ready to tell my story because I haven't told anyone at BC that I'm trans, and I don't mean to keep it on the down low, but I mean, that's the reality where I live in right now, that I can't really say and be open as I want to and stuff, but
And it's nobody's business.
Exactly, it's only my business, and I only feel like I want to share it to people that I feel like are worthy of knowing and want to educate themselves. So this is the best opportunity that I felt that I could. So thank you, Lucy, for that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm done.
Thank you.
I gotta tell you, both of you guys are pros, man. Putting it to shame.
So we'll open it up to. Is it okay if we open it up to Q&A?
Say it again, what?
Is it okay if we do Q&A now? Or?
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I wanted to get to your questions.
I wanted to
Yeah,
know
my
when I
question,
did all this.
my question was involving, okay, so I know that there's a slide that you showed of that celebrity. I think she did like some
Black is
Netflix
Award.
films.
Yes.